Good evening. This meeting of the Manheim Township School Board is now called to order. Welcome to everyone here in person and those joining online. In addition to the live stream, both audio and video are being recorded. Nurture and challenge for success is our district's mission and serves as a reminder of our intent to enable every Manheim Township student to learn, grow, and thrive. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I have several announcements to share with you this evening. First, I'll say that members of our community are encouraged to participate in board meetings in person or view them online. In support of both transparency and community engagement, recordings of meetings can now be watched afterwards on the district's YouTube channel. As a reminder, there is a current vacancy on the board. The term of the appointed member will run from Thursday, December 11th to the first Monday in December of 2027. Members of our community are encouraged to apply by emailing a letter of interest and resume to boardsecretary@mtwp.net. The deadline for submission is Friday, November 28th at 12 p.m. Full details about qualifications can be found on the district website, which is mtwp.net. Interviews will be held at a public meeting on December 1st here at 7 p.m. in the boardroom. Thirdly, I'd like to acknowledge today is the Transgender Day of Remembrance. This is a day when communities across the country honor the memory of transgender individuals who have lost their lives to violence or suicide. Here in our own community, we have lost several transgender young people in recent years. We honor them, we remember them, and we grieve their loss alongside their loved ones. As a district, we remain committed to fostering a safe, respectful, and supportive environment for all students, including our LGBTQ students and families. If anyone in our community is struggling or needs support, the Trevor Project provides 24/7 confidential assistance for LGBTQ youth. You can call 1-866-488-7386 or access live chat support at thetrevorproject.org. We hold in our hearts those we have lost, and we reaffirm the responsibility to ensure every student feels seen, valued, supported, and a genuine sense of belonging. November is Native American Heritage Month. During Native American Heritage Month, we pause to honor the enduring contributions of Indigenous peoples in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, and our country. We acknowledge the history, traditions, and resilience of the First Nations peoples. We acknowledge that South Central Pennsylvania, particularly the lands surrounding the Susquehanna River, are the ancestral home of many Indigenous peoples, including the Susquehannock, Kahnaway, Lenape, and other Native nations who have lived, traded, cared for, and cultivated this region for many generations. We also recognize and honor the Native Americans who live in our communities now. We're mindful of the history of persecution and inequality that continue even today. During this month and throughout the year, we commit to understanding our history, celebrating diversity more fully, and fostering a deeper sense of belonging for all members of our community. For information, please explore the resources and events of our local nonprofit, Circle Legacy Center. I found them successfully on Facebook today and had a good time looking at those things, so I encourage you to as well. Item 2 on our agenda are presentations. The recognition of Directors Hoffman, Landis, and Romano for their service to the Manheim Township School District. Tonight we recognize 3 board members whose terms conclude this evening: Aaron Hoffman, Michael Landis, and Kim Romano. Each has devoted 4 years to this board while working full-time and raising families, and we are deeply grateful for the time, energy, and care they have invested in this district. All 3 have also provided significant leadership on facilities, helping guide complex projects, ensuring responsible planning, and keeping our students' needs at the center of every discussion. Their extra lift in this area has strengthened our long-term foundation as a district. Aaron, Michael, and Kim, thank you for your service, your dedication, and the partnership you've shown throughout your tenure. As As a small token of our appreciation, we're pleased to present each of you with a cutting board engraved with the district logo, made by a small business in our community. Please join me in a round of applause as we present these gifts. Thank you again for everything you've done. All right, we're on to item number 3, a roll call vote. Unless otherwise stated, each vote taken at this meeting will be considered a roll call vote, and the board secretary will record any negative votes or abstentions. Item number 4 is Manheim Township Community Comments on Consent Agenda and other items. Residents, taxpayers, district employees, and students are all welcome and encouraged to participate. The board won't engage in discussion, but will provide follow-up if needed. If you'd like to speak, fill out a commenter's card for the board secretary to collect. Limit your remarks to 5 minutes related to voting items found in the consent agenda and other action items, sections of the agenda. Share your full name before you begin. Who would like to make comments this evening? All right. Seeing none. Before we move on, there was another opening announcement that I'd like to share, which is this is not Dr. Pete Hefty, this is Dr. Ryman. Our assistant superintendent, Dr. Pete Hefty, did not want to get any of us sick with her respiratory infection, but she said she'll be back on her feet soon. So thank you, Dr. Ryman, as always. So it's good to have you sitting. All right, so moving on to number 5, which is approval of the agenda or agenda modification. So is there a motion to either approve or modify the agenda?
I'll make a motion to modify the agenda.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Landis? Any discussion?
Sure, thank you, Ms. Woodbury. I just need to remove the personnel report because my wife is a teacher in the district and she is listed amongst those receiving a stipend for their work mentoring other teachers, and as such, I'm going to recuse myself from that vote.
All right, so item 6C from the consent agenda will come out for items pulled for consideration. All right, so we'll take a vote on that agenda modification. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The motion carries. Items listed under the consent agenda, we're at item number 6, so the consent agenda. Items listed under this section are considered to be routine and are acted on in one motion. There is no discussion prior to the vote unless a board member requests an item be removed from this section to be discussed in section 6. We've already done that with our agenda modification, but are there other consent items from the consent agenda that board members would like to move? Okay, hearing none. Is there a motion to approve all items that remain on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Mrs. Hens, is there a second? Mrs. Hoffman? Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The motion carries. Now we will, item 6C was pulled, so we will do item 6C now, which is approval of the personnel report. Is there a motion to approve? Mrs. Hoffman, is there a second?
Second.
Mrs. Lamb, quieter but first. So I'll ask for a discussion of this item, if there's any. All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. Any abstentions?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Gunter abstains. we're moving on to section 8, other recommended actions. 8A is approval of the secretary's minute of the board work session meeting on October 9th, 2025, the regular meeting of the Board of School Directors on October 16th, and the Facilities Committee of the Whole meeting of the Board of School Directors on October 23rd. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Mrs. Romano, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Voldazar, any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The motion carries. Item 8B is for approval of the contract with Miles 2 Consulting LLC for school-based access program consulting services for the Manheim Township School District. Is there a motion to approve? Mrs. Hoffman, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Grunter, any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The motion carries. Item 8C is the approval of the ratification of the expulsion agreement waiver and stipulation of student 2025-2026 EA.02. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Mr. Voldazar, is there a second? Ms. Lamb with a second. There is no discussion of this confidential item. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The motion carries. Item 8D is approval of the ratification of the expulsion agreement waiver and stipulation of student 2025-2026 SEA.03. Is there a motion to approve? Mrs. Hens, is there a second? Mr. Landis, there is no discussion of this confidential item. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Mrs. Romano, nay. We are moving on to our superintendent's report, which is item number 9.
All right, thank you, Ms. Woodbury. I'm happy to take the superintendent's report on behalf of Dr. Pate Hefty. I'll share the information about our employee of the month. I'll give some information about our community survey with feedback on our 26-27 calendar. I'm going to talk a little bit about Dr. Pate Hefty's upcoming visits to buildings. I have a brief enrollment report for the board, and then just a couple of announcements to round out the report. So to get us started here, congratulations to the mid-Trower Employee of the Month, which is Miss Emily Gutierrez. You see pictured there with Dr. Pate Hefty and Mr. Schrodel and Mrs. Robbins as well. A little bit of information about Ms. Gutierrez. In the words of her colleagues, she brings a cheerful spirit and a deep commitment to meeting the needs of all students. She consistently demonstrates professionalism, kindness, and respect in her interactions with both students and staff. Her positive energy creates a welcoming environment where every student feels valued and supported. She is known for her passion and her whole child approach. She finds innovative and engaging ways to help students to reach their academic goals while also nurturing their social and emotional growth. She's a great collaborator with classroom teachers to ensure that all kids get what they need, and her dedication and creativity make a meaningful difference in our school community, which was shared by Mr. Schrodel. So she makes the building better, according to Mr. Schrodel and her colleagues, and I'd like to just ask everyone to join in a round of applause for Ms. Gutierrez. All right, thank you for that. Maybe 6 or 7 slides I would estimate here with community feedback. We did get responses from about 755 different community members regarding our proposed calendar that we sent out, sort of forecasting what 26-27 might look like. So we're pleased with that response rate. And I'll just give you a few highlights of what we gleaned from that. Almost 65% support the holiday schedule in terms of convenience for family as it was presented. There were comments that we extracted from that data identifying some particular holidays and 6 observances that you see listed there with an N next to each that indicate how many people expressed an interest in having some observance in our calendar recognizing those particular holidays, which we'll certainly examine and take into account. Regarding spring break, we recognize that there is interest here. About 62% of our respondents expressed interest in what a spring break could be in our calendar. And so that's something that we'll also look to take into consideration as we build future calendars. This slide speaks to half days and connecting those half days to holidays and weekends being a pretty strong preference. A lot of times they're oriented to where a marking period ends, and there was, agreement that if we could tuck those up against a holiday or a weekend, that would be welcomed by our community based on this feedback. Almost 77% expressed support for the model that we use now with a built-in snow day. That gives us an opportunity to either have that as a day off or to use that as a snow day if we have inclement weather prior to that scheduled date on the calendar. And then the last piece that I'll share is 81%, pretty strong support there for FID, which is our flexible instructional days. Communities, valuing the opportunity to use those as a school day where we do meet for instruction for the day, but students and staff don't report to the building. So I wanted to share that information on behalf of Dr. Pay Hefty related to the survey that we issued to the community for input on the calendar. This slide here shows that Dr. Pay Hefty will be open to visiting classrooms and having conversations for the remainder of the school year. You see all the dates there. Any teachers or staff members with an interest in meeting and talking with Dr. Pay Hefty just has to reach out to Colleen Marshall. The closest dates that we have in December are where she will be at NEF on December 3rd, Nitrow on December 12th, and then the middle school on December 19th. Quick note on enrollment and homebound. As of today, our enrollment is 6,023 students, and that includes 51 outplaced students. And we have 2 students who are in homebound, have been approved for homebound instruction. And just my last couple of items. First, I just want to again thank Mrs. Hoffman, Mr. Landis, Mrs. Romano, and Dr. Henderson for their service to the board. We appreciate it very much. And lastly, you'll note that this evening we have board members and administrators dressed in red. Tomorrow, our staff has also been invited to do the same. November 5th of this year marks the 5 years since the passing of our own school counselor, Alexandra Chitwood. So given that red was a favorite color of hers, wearing red each year in November has become a tradition for the district, and that we have instituted as a way to acknowledge her and remember Ms. Chitwood and all that she did for the students and the families of the Manheim Township School District. And that's my report.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ryman. Next, we're on to item number 10, which is new business. Items brought forward under new business will not be acted upon until the next school board meeting to allow school board members to have sufficient information and to allow opportunities for public comment. Does any board member have any new business to bring forward?
There you go, Mr. Ryman.
I don't have any new business, but I kind of didn't catch it at the beginning there during the thank you for us 3 board members that are stepping off. So I just wanted to share a couple words, some thanks for my time of service here. I want to thank the community for electing me a little bit over 4 years ago. Appreciate the vote of confidence and electing someone that maybe was a little bit on the younger side. But this has been a really good experience for me. And I do believe I've brought value to the board. I wanted to thank, I don't talk about this too much, but my faith is very important to me. So I wanted to thank God, thank Jesus, who I follow as my faith. He's supported me and given me direction as I've been on the board. And I also wanted to thank my wonderful wife and our 4 lovely children as they've given up many nights, days, nights when I've been thinking about things and when I wasn't. Thank you so much to my family for supporting me during these 4 years. I wanted to thank the administration, Dr. Pay Hefty, who's not here, Dr. Ryman, everyone else, Nana Robbins, many others that I could
be here for a while naming. It's been a pleasure to work with each of you. Thank you to the board members that are sitting here, as well as previous board members that are have moved on to different places. And yeah, wish the new board the best. Continue to listen to one another and encourage the administration and board members to continue to do things that engage the community, because there's something that I learned once I got on the board, and that is that a lot of the community doesn't even really know what happens at board meetings, or if there even is a board meeting, and how they can interact, stuff they can learn from this. So continue to engage with the community, listen to the community, since that's who's elected you. And that's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Landis. But we're in a new business section. We're also about to, on the precipice of board member reports, so I will just ask, just to make sure no one has new business, and in our board member reports, give a chance. Ms. Lamb, do you have new business?
I do.
Good.
Yes.
Thank you.
I know that, so just in recent news, there's like a huge emerge of new AI platforms. So I would love to see if there's an opportunity to learn about the safe integration of technology in our school districts, especially as AI continues to advance. I think it would be valuable for us to share what the school district is currently doing and explore opportunities where we could implement that could continue to build on the safety of our students and make sure that we as a school district stay proactive and ahead of the curve. As a district, we should remain forward-thinking while strengthening our safety protocols to protect our students, teachers, staff, and families. So if there's that opportunity to visit that,
Thank you very much, Ms. Lamb. Put that under new business. Are there other new business items? If not, I'm gonna move to board reports, which is section number 11, and we're gonna start with our student representative, but then I wanna give Mrs. Hoffman and Mrs. Romano a chance to speak, and any other board members who'd like to. Thank you, Joel Francis.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Joel Francis. I'm a senior at the high school, and I'm here just to say a little bit of what's happening at the high school. So working period 1 is officially in the books, and report cards were posted on Thursday of last week, and we're all looking forward to a successful working period 2. We had some exciting events happen surrounding Mini-thon this month. Mini-thon successfully hosted Trunk or Treat and raised over $900, and fun was had by all, including high school students, and even had some staff involved. Currently, Mini-thon is hosting its annual No Shave November contest. We have teachers and administrators joining the cause to fight against pediatric cancer, and staff members are collecting money for 4 diamonds, and if they reach specific totals, they will do something fun with their hair or their beard. We had an assembly for seniors and family and staff members who are veterans on November 11th, and our troubadours and band performed the Armed Forces Salute and taps to honor and recognize our guests. Prior to this assembly, approximately 60 flags lined our campus for Veterans Day. This tradition was started back in 2007 as an Eagle Scout project, and the flags are installed each year on Veterans Day and Memorial Day with a team effort. This year, we would like to thank Mr. Rutledge, Mrs. Spain Conrad, and high school students from their AP US Government classes, and our planned services staff, and it was our small part to honor our veterans. Last month, students in grades 10 and 11 had the opportunity to take the PSAT. Earlier this month, 10th graders took the ASVAB, and ASVAB stands for the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery, and this program is free and empowers students to discover their strengths and interests. And results from this assessment assist students in mapping out coursework and future career plans. On October 26th, the Tri-M Music Honor Society held its induction ceremony for the 25 to 26 school year. We are proud to recognize 190 outstanding student musicians for their continued dedication to academic excellence, musical achievement, and community service. Tri-M Music Honor Society is a program of the National Association for Music Education, and it focuses on creating future leaders in music education and music advocacy. Earlier this month, during the clubs, our student council was visited by a team of high school administrators, counselors, and teachers to get student feedback on the communication of information, events, and happenings related to the high school. And congratulations to our Mannion Township High School Students of the Month for October, Elaine Warfel and William Lee. The Student of the Month program is a valued partnership with the Lancaster Sunrise Rotary Club. On Thursday, November 13th, the Mannion Township Music Department was excited to invite Alice, an ensemble of Tuvan musicians. The group is visiting from Tuva, a region situated at the southern edge of Siberia, with Mongolia to its south, and they share their rich musical heritage with all music students at the high school and middle school. And this year, Mannion Township School District is changing the way we support families during the holiday season. In the past, we collected physical gifts, and this year we're asking for gift card donations instead. By providing gift cards directly to parents, they'll have the opportunity to choose meaningful gifts their children truly want and to experience the joy of purchasing those gifts themselves. We will hold a holiday event in December, inviting the designated families to the event to provide them with gift cards, wrapping paper, and tape. Our goal is to raise $15,000 in gift cards to support families in need. And tonight is actually the opening night of our fall play, Word on the Orient Express. The show started at 7 p.m. in the auditorium at the high school, Friday night and Saturday night. And yesterday our school had an assembly for high school to get a sneak peek of the show, and personally I loved it. And tickets are still available online at the door, so come out to support Mannion Township Performing Arts. And on behalf of me and Shreya, who unfortunately couldn't be here, we wish everyone a restful Thanksgiving break with family and friends.
Thank you very much. I just learned so much, and I think everyone else in the room did too. I'll hope to see you at the play tomorrow night. Now we've got some more board member reports. I first want to acknowledge and recognize if Mrs. Romano or Mrs. Hoffman would like to make any remarks. Mrs. Hoffman.
I just have to do my due diligence for the Education Foundation this evening. Each board member has a little flyer in front of them, but the fall grants cycle, we had 25 approved, and it was over $107,000, which is incredible. Appreciate all of those grants moving forward. And everybody on the back, there's lots of dates of things where you can support Education Foundation. Tomorrow is the big one, Extra Give. That starts tomorrow. December 3rd is Family Movie Night, Zootopia 2, so that's at Penn Cinema. And then look forward to, in the spring, the Mini Golf Madness on March 21st, and the big MTEF golf outing on May 1st, so there'll be more information coming from all those. But it's always exciting to hear about the grants and where we're going, and we actually had a meeting this week which included the Creative Commons at the high school, which is amazing that they're doing such great work. So I pushed them a little bit to expand on that and keep that program going because it's exciting for the students, I believe. And second, I just appreciate everybody that I've had time to spend with the last 4 years. It's great getting to know all of you. I appreciate all of your input and insights, and I love that we have such a wide group and everybody has different passions, which makes for a good board. And to my family who I made come tonight, thanks for putting up for long board meetings and mom not being home. I appreciate that, but I look forward to serving you in a different capacity coming up soon. So I appreciate all the time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mrs. Romano.
Agreed. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve on the board in support of our students and our families and our community. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. 4 years, it seems like a really long time, but also seems really fast, but I think more like a long time. So, but you know, I really loved having a voice for the kids, and I will miss that part of it for sure. So I can sit on the other side and still have that voice, which is nice. So thank you everybody for I would say just being able to each have a voice here in quote unquote safe space, right? So it never got ugly and everybody was respectful, and that is certainly not always the case, and I'm very grateful for that. And I look look forward to volunteering in other ways. So thanks.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Are there other board members with updates to report? Mrs. Hens?
From the PTO at NEF, they are always working. The fundraising, they do provide special opportunities for students and staff. So I would really encourage parents, if you haven't followed them, Facebook, website, they're everywhere. You'll find them if you go looking. They're friendly and welcoming people. They can use your help in the good work that they're doing for our kids. So don't hesitate. If you see that call, go out for help. These are lovely, lovely people who would be very happy to have your assistance. So yay to the PTO at NEF. As far as my IU report, the IU 13 board meeting was more or less normal, all of the regular contracts. There are carryover funds, which we will be able to use for Head Start to improve that program. Now that we know that we have a budget, but the budget had been passed just that afternoon, so we didn't have a lot of detail. But again, the IU relies on federal and state dollars more so than we here in the district. So they're up and running and feeling much better about their program now that the budgets are in place. The only other thing I would say is don't believe everything that you read in the LMP, and please know that our executive director is conscientious about all incidents of behavior and discipline in our IU classrooms. It can be a very difficult place to work, if any of you can imagine what the truly involved students can be like. So please grant them some slack as you read those articles in the newspaper. And I did want to say that it has been a delight and a privilege. I really appreciate the fact that each of us brings ideas, and as you just said, it's a safe place to say what you really think, even if you're the only person saying it. We sometimes have not agreed, and yet your comments have really informed my decision-making as I reach that final vote. So I appreciate the facilities, the knowledge that you bring here, and however many times Mike and I have kept each other on the right page at the right time. It has been, the community is blessed to have this school board that does indeed talk and share until a consensus rises up. Everybody doesn't have that, and we are blessed here in Manheim Township to have that. So thank you for your time and efforts.
Thank you, Mrs. Hens. Any others? Mr. Bolazar.
Yes, I'd like to thank Mr. Landis and Mrs. Hoffman and Mrs. Romano for your long years of service. It's been 4, I've been here 2, and I feel like it's 10. So I really appreciate really the dialogue that's gone on. I think there's been a lot that's happened in the last 2 years that I've been here. We've been together, but there's been, I think what's really remarkable here is it's an unfortunate part of the process of how we get to this board, that it has to come through a political process. But here in this room, I've not felt there being any difference. There's no party. It's all everybody bringing to the table what they have to offer, and it's been a very respectful and I think rich dialogue. And I think it's really important to point out as we move into the future, there's going to be a change on this board, and it should look exactly the same. It should not matter what is here. It should look and feel exactly the same way, even though the makeup's going to be different. So I really encourage those who are coming on the board to leave whatever letter, and I know what letter it is, at the door. And when you come on this board, you're not that. You're a board member that's here for the education of the students, and the support and support can be challenging, whatever it means to make this district the best. So I am going to miss the dialogues here, even though I look forward to kind of what the future holds. And to my neighbor here particularly, I'm going to see how I take this little patch of real estate, and hopefully I get a neighbor. It's good. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Baldessar. Any others? I always have to look slowly and around obstacles. So soon we'll have a new boardroom set up, but it's not coming soon enough. So we'll move on to Manheim Township community comment. Residents, taxpayers, district employees, and students are all welcome and encouraged to participate. The board won't engage in discussion, but will provide follow-up if needed. I'd first like to just remind folks that we'll have a timer up there, but it is not meant to be intimidating. It's meant to show everyone that we're following our board policy for how long we get to speak and give people a visual reminder so that we all just know that we're keeping on track. The other thing is I'd ask our commenters to please address me as the presiding officer or the board, but not each other or the audience or anyone else besides the board when you make public comment, please. So if you'd like to speak, please fill out a commenter's card for the board secretary to collect. Limit your remarks to 5 minutes and share your full name before you begin. Who would like to make comments this evening?
Hi, my name is Mark Diener. I graduated here in 1989. I had 5 daughters through this school, and I want to thank the township for giving me the opportunity to speak on an issue that I'm pretty passionate about. I consider that pornography is creeping into the school, got into the high school, and I think it's getting into the middle school, and it's the nature of pornography, keeps going after younger and younger, and I'd like to see it stop, and I'd like to bring to your attention some books that have some excerpts from. I'll try to keep the excerpts short. I know nobody likes to hear them, including myself. Is the book The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis appropriate for middle schoolers? A Google search in AI mode says this: no, The Female of the Species is not appropriate for middle schoolers due to its mature and dark themes, including graphic descriptions of sexual assault. I did another Google search in AI mode, and I came up with the result with the question, is the book 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher appropriate for middle schoolers? The book 13 Reasons Why is generally not considered appropriate for most 7th graders due to its mature and potentially triggering themes, including suicide and sexual assault. The book deals heavily with difficult and graphic topics, including detailed descriptions of sexual assault and rape. I did another Google search in AI mode of the book Is Homegoing by Ya Gayazi appropriate for 7th graders? Keep in mind, these books that I'm reading from and talking about and reporting to you tonight are books that are currently in our middle school. Homegoing by Ya Gayazi is generally not considered appropriate for 7th graders due to its mature and graphic content, including detailed descriptions of rape and sexual assault. Publishers and review sites recommend Homegoing for grades 11 through 12, or even exclusively for adult readers. A 7th grader is not an adult reader. A tiny excerpt. Excited now, he pushed into her, and she squeezed her eyes as tightly as she could, her tongue circling her lips. He pushed harder, his breathing heavy and labored. She scratched his back, and he cried out. She bit his ear and pulled his hair. I did another search on Google in AI mode for this book, a book called Grown by Tiffany Jackson. And another thing I want to remind everybody, these books I'm reading from are fictional books. Somebody in their mind dreamed this stuff up and wants our 7th graders to read it. Is Grown by Tiffany Jackson appropriate for middle schoolers? Grown by Tiffany Jackson is not recommended for middle schoolers due to its mature and graphic content, including detailed depictions of sexual coercion. It is a young adult novel intended for older teens. Sexual assault and abuse descriptions of non-consensual sex acts. I did another search on Google in AI mode. Is 19 Love Songs by David Leviathan appropriate for middle schoolers? 19 Love Songs by David Leviathan is not considered appropriate for middle school students due to its mature themes, including explicit discussions of sexual desire. The reading level is 9 through 12. The book includes several stories that portray teens experiencing feelings of romantic love and desire. The descriptions are graphic, but they indicate sexual activity and disrobing. In one instance, a teen is heard moaning during a sexual encounter. There's climax, foreplay, and orgasm in these books of fictional accounts, and I would encourage the township to keep reading these books out of the libraries.
Are there others who would like to make public comment this evening?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Tonight I'm asking the board to remember something fundamental to responsible governance. We cannot and should not rearrange, restrict, or remove books based solely on the objections of one individual, especially any individual who, according to our own board policy, does not have standing to challenge materials in our schools. Our district has clear, solicitor-vetted policies outlining who may file a challenge and how the review process must work. Those policies were crafted with care to align with constitutional protections, professional librarian standards, and the realities of a modern public school district. They exist for a reason, to ensure that decisions about learning materials are thoughtful, consistent, and legally sound, not reactive, political, or based on any one person's personal ideology. Right now, we have an administrative guideline that directs our certified librarians to meet, collaborate, and review parts of the collection in regular intervals based on a variety of criteria and not just one publisher's age recommendation. For example, we have books on World War II tanks rated as adult in the middle school library. I think we can all agree that students can research tanks in middle school. If we use just one criterion, we would be moving or weeding thousands of books. Publisher ratings change frequently, and our librarians need time to consider those changes, especially since the middle school houses the widest range of our readers. Our board and administrative policies were created to safeguard professional judgment and to ensure that experts, not politicians, and not individual residents without standing, determine what belongs in our school collections. We need to let our librarians do their jobs. It is not acceptable to expect a singular book to be weeded within 24 hours. That is not part of our regular process, and therefore not weeding by definition. It is also not acceptable to demand that our librarians take time away from students to categorize and flag tens of thousands of books. That is not good for students, and it is not good for our librarians' working conditions. We need to respect the process that this board already approved. And we need to avoid obeying in advance, preemptively altering library collections simply because one person is demanding action outside of policy. To do so would undermine our own governance, violate due process, and expose this district to unnecessary legal risk. There's also established Supreme Court precedent, which I have discussed here before. beginning with Board of Education v. PICO 1982, which makes clear that while school boards have discretion in managing libraries, they may not remove books merely because they dislike the ideas within them. Decisions must be grounded in legitimate educational rationale, not viewpoint discrimination. Upholding this principle is not optional, it is constitutional law. Our adherence to these policies has mattered. It has helped attract highly qualified librarians who know that their professional standards will be respected. It has helped draw families and students who choose this district because they value intellectual freedom, diverse perspectives, and academic integrity. Undercutting that now by overriding policy for one person who does not even meet the threshold for standing would send the opposite message. We should be proud that our collection development process is deliberate, transparent, and professionally grounded. Our librarians remain committed to ensuring that all students have access to books that reflect their interests, cultures, personal stories, and the world around them. Tonight, I urge the board to stay the course, follow our policies, respect the process, allow our librarians to conduct their regularly scheduled collection reviews, and do not move or restrict materials simply because one individual demands it. Our responsibility is to the students in our district, not to any single voice seeking to circumvent the rules. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Marshall. Just for the record of Samantha McNally.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think she said her name, but I wanted to make sure we got that.
Yes.
All right. Are there others who would like to make comment this evening?
Good evening, I'm Julie Diener, Mark Diener's mom. One individual with outstanding, so now we'll say there's two, and that would be me. And so I think the, what was just said about the librarians, your review committee, staying the course, yeah, we do appreciate and see what has been done in the past when some of these completely vulgar books with graphic images in them, which is clearly defined as pornography. And so when those were brought to the board's attention, they were, some of them, many of them were removed. And so that's what we're asking here tonight, is that the board would stay on top of this, that the review committee would seriously consider, which it appears they have, take into consideration what it is Mark is bringing here to your attention. As a taxpayer with daughters that have graduated from township, he does have, and I have, and anybody else that wants to come forward, I'll have the right to voice our opinions. They're our children, it's our taxpayer dollars. It has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with book banning. Again, book banning is to say that it's inaccessible. The books in question here are not inaccessible and can be purchased on many sites, as we're all aware of. So keeping our eye on the ball and looking at what we really are saying here is appreciated, and we do see the results have been favorable with the board removing some of these books, weeding them out, whatever it is we're calling it. So we respect that, we thank you for that, and we will continue to stand against everything that we have been bringing here to this township. And we thank you for listening to us and taking it seriously. Thank you.
Are there others who would like to comment this evening? All right. Would any who have spoken like additional remarks?
Yes.
Time for additional remarks.
Yes, thank you. I did a Google search in AI mode. Is the book Out of Darkness by Ashley Hope Perez appropriate for 12-year-olds? No. The novel Out of Darkness by Ashley Hope Perez is not recommended for 12-year-olds. It deals with topics considered sexually explicit. Publisher's recommended reading age is 14 to 17. Did a Google search in AI mode. Is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline appropriate for 12-year-olds? Answer: no. Ready Player One is not considered appropriate for 12-year-olds due to mature content like heavy swearing, sexual references, and significant violence, sexual content, suggestive themes, including depictions of sex dolls and masturbation, virtual flirting, and some descriptions of partially nude avatars. The book contains frequent use of strong F-word language, sexual innuendo, among other adult topics. Page 193, Ready Player One by author Ernest Cline. At the end of the day, I was still a virgin, all alone in a dark room, humping a lubed-up robot. So I got rid of the sex doll and went back to spanking the monkey the old-fashioned way. I felt no shame about masturbating. Thanks to Anorak's Almanac, I now thought of it as a normal bodily function, as necessary and natural as sleeping or eating. Did another Google search in AI mode for the book. Is Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas appropriate for middle schoolers? Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas is not considered appropriate for middle schoolers due to mature themes, strong language, and graphic content. Publishers and review sites recommend it for grade 9 and higher. Sexual content, depictions of teens having intercourse, multiple discussions of masturbation, birth control, teen pregnancy, and a couple openly discuss getting an abortion, strong language. The book contains frequent strong language, including F-U-C-K, S-H-I-T, A-S-S, D-A-M-N, N-I-G-G-A, and the N-word. Page 137. Then she looked me in the eye and I unzipped my pants. It's on. I help her get out of that dress, and she helps me get my pants off. Me and Lisa lying in her bed, all sweaty and panting. We went at it for hours. I did the damn thing. This was the first time we ever had sex without protection. I see what the homies mean. I did another Google search in AI mode. Is City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare appropriate for 7th graders? No. Publishers Simon & Schuster, among others, recommend the book for ages 14 and up or grades 9 to 12. The book City of Heavenly Fire, the final installment of the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare, contains a descriptive foreplay and sex scene involving the main characters Clary and Jace in a cave. One reader noted it felt like a mix of explicit content where readers read between the lines. The author did, however, later share an unedited, more explicit version of the scene with fans online. So the author writes this book and has this long foreplay scene. And if that's not enough for the 7th grader's appetite, then they can get online and find the rest of the unedited version of the book where the full-blown orgasm happens. So I don't know what's in the author's mind to think that would be appropriate for 7th graders. Thank you for your time tonight. I am passionate about this topic, and I have brought some wholesome books with me. I also have a bag of t-shirts. I have Manheim Township blue and medium, and I have larges in black. If anybody wants to become helpful in my crusade for getting rid of this pornography in the school, I have free ones with me. Thank you.
Would any who have spoken like to make additional remarks? All right, we are on to item number 13, adjournment. I have several sort of closing announcements, so before you pack up, I've got some detail in here you may want to avail yourself of. So first, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Mrs. Hoffman, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Boldazar. Our next scheduled board meeting is Monday, December 1st at 6 p.m. here in the district office. The new board members will be seated. The board will vote for president and vice president, which occurs annually the first Monday of December, and then the board will conduct a work session. As was mentioned at the opening of this meeting, interviews of those seeking appointment to the board will begin at 7 p.m. for those who have submitted a letter of interest and resume by Friday, November 28th at 12 p.m. All meetings will be public and will be live streamed and recorded for viewing purposes. Thank you to all Manheim Township staff, administrators, and volunteers for your dedication to our students and our community. And a final word to say thank you to our outgoing board members who have dedicated the last 4 years to board service. Thank you to Aaron Hoffman, Michael Landis, and Kim Romano. I wish each of you a well-deserved break and a peaceful and joyful holiday season. All in favor of adjournment, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The motion carries. We are adjourned.